This summer, make memories in a sleek and sophisticated new Toyota Prius. It's been America's best-selling hybrid for 15 years running, and over 92% of all Prius cars ever sold are still on the road. And the 2016 lineup is better than ever. You can even get a Prius that gets up to 58 miles per gallon. So no matter where summer may take you, Toyota has the perfect Prius for your journey. Get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2016 Prius, or lease Prius for $229 a month. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hot summer fun is really heating up at Mystic Lake, with millions in cash and prizes up for grabs, including 2 grand prizes on Labor Day weekend. First is the ultimate outdoor package featuring a Ford F-150 King Ranch, 2 Polaris ATVs, and a Triton trailer. Then the next day we're giving away the ultimate getaway package with a Ford F-350 King Ranch and a luxury Keystone Montana 5th wheel RV. Plus, the winning continues every day all summer long. Details at mysticlake.com/hot summer fun. Hot summer fun at Mystic Lake. Let's go.
Watch Celebrity Name Game tomorrow night at 5 on CW23.
Social Security benefits denied? Get help. Call the law office of Robert Hoagland, the largest disability law firm in Minnesota. A Social Security attorney will meet with you in your home or at an office location near you. No fees unless we win. Turn it up!
They let us back in the building.
I'm shocked.
I know, I'm surprised too. It's a special edition tonight.
I thought we were one and done. Special edition, was I supposed to dress up?
Well, the special edition, I think, is what you chose to wear tonight.
Yeah, I found this on the floor. I didn't have any other choice. Yeah, no one was home to dress me, so I dressed myself today.
You know, speaking of Fallon, who probably normally does dress you, we looked at the numbers from last week. Guys love us, which is, you know, no doubt you're with K-Fan. Everybody knows who MeatSauce is. But the ladies haven't watched yet, so you swept Fallon off her feet. How do we get the ladies? What's in it for the ladies to watch this show?
I have no idea, because I guarantee you Fallon has turned this off already because she's sleeping, and the only way to sweep women off their feet is probably to take them to a nice restaurant, and I have like $4.
You know what, though? That's a really good answer. They're a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
More than $4, though.
I have 4.
All right, let's start the show. All right, week 2, MeatSauce and Monty. I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul MeatSauce Lambert. Everybody knows who he is. We're going to talk a lot of stuff tonight. We got the Vikings, we got Twins, we got Lynx, we got our drinking game. And this week, it honestly is going to be a drinking game. We've got rules, we've got topics. You can play along at home, cheer for him, cheer for me. It's going to be a blast.
Cheer for him.
But we're starting off tonight on a somber note, the passing of Denny Green, Vikings longtime head coach, 10 seasons with the Vikings, the second African-American head coach in the NFL. Sauce, what are your thoughts on Denny Green?
I talked about it a lot, the passing, when I found out about it, and I talked with my buddies about it, and that's when my generation fell in love with Vikings football, was when Denny Green became the head coach. They were good every year, except for the only time they didn't have a winning record was his last year. Because they were 8-8, but then, his last year they were under 500. He helped me fall in love with Vikings football. I was at the first game of the '98 season. My buddy Patrick and I, it was a birthday gift, and it was one of the most memorable sports moments I have. I loved Denny Green. I loved how he cared so much about his players, kind of like they have now with Mike Zimmer. I just loved everything about Denny Green as a football coach. His personal life, that's his problem, but I'm a big fan of Dennis Green, and it sucked when I found out that he died.
You know, I agree with you completely, because those were the formative years.
Right.
He was the head coach when I started, you know, when he started, I was a preteen. When he was fired, I was in college. So those years were the years where I honestly fell in love with the Vikings. And to make the playoffs 80% of the time, 8 years out of 10, that's a pretty good run. And, you know, all-time wins for the Vikings, he's second just behind Bud Grant. Obviously, there aren't a whole lot of head coaches in Vikings history, so it's easier to be up there. But if there were the Mount Rushmore, I think right now there's only 2, and that's Bud and Denny.
Yeah.
And Zimmer is going to be up there quickly, but you know, looking at the history, I think that he obviously earned that second spot.
Yeah, Denny went to 2 NFC championship games. I can't say that about, you know, obviously about the coaches they've had after. I think Denny is one of, if not the best Vikings coach. Bud Grant took him to a bunch of Super Bowls, but Denny Green's teams were always competitive. I was a big fan of Dennis Green, and it sucks that we lost him. He was great in Arizona, too. That rant is one of the best sports rants of all time. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I'd slam this down, but I'm afraid I might spill something or break it. Yeah.
Speaking of Denny Green, go on Twitter, find the MeatSauce and Monty page. Every week we're going to have a survey, or you can vote.
Yeah,
and this week it was about a poll. That's the right word. And this week it was Denny Green. So we're going to have the results of that on the very last block of the show. Still time, I think, to go on and vote. If not, go ahead and look, and we'll talk about it later. Do you think that his coaching tree is to his credit looking on? I mean, Tony Dungy underneath him, Brian Billick, Mike Tice. They went on, 2 of the 3 became Super Bowl champions. You know how the Bill Walsh coaching tree is what Denny came from.
Yeah.
Do you think that looks back on credit towards him?
Well, you look at that, and I mean, think of some of the coaching staffs, as you said. Brian Billick, one of the greatest offensive coordinators of all time, won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Tony Dungy, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
And just a good person.
And a great guy, won a Super Bowl. I mean, those coaching staffs they had, the offensive line coaches, even Mike Tice. And I think Mike Tice got a bad rap. I think Mike Tice should eventually get another look as a head coach. He worked for one of the cheapest owners in sports, and he was literally the only option because he was cheap. I mean, and then when he found out Mike Tice got fired, like after the game, because his son found that fly or whatever that story is, that's just sad. I think that the coaching tree that Denny Green had is one of the best in a long time, because all those guys were successful. Brian Billick was awesome. Dungy was awesome. Tice was awesome. I mean, they had Fazio. He was great until, they're just a great group of coaches, great offensive line coaches, all around great coaching.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think Mike Tice, I agree with you. The fans, it seemed like Minnesota loved him.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the players loved him.
Yeah, I think they did, but he just was given a bad rap.
Yeah.
I mean, he had they didn't spend any money. They brought in Fred Smoot and some of these just kind of bad players. And they drafted well. I mean, Kevin Williams. Mike Tice drafted Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams is one of the best defensive players the Vikings have ever had.
Well, Love Boat scandal on his watch.
Yeah, and then the ticket scandal, the Mike Tice ticket scandal, all that stuff. But, if you win on the field, unless you're doing what, the school out east, the college school out east is doing, unless you're winning on the field, you can get away with a lot.
Sure. All right, staying with the Vikings, moving on. U.S. Bank Stadium, the open house this weekend. You got a chance to check it out last week. What do you think is the mystique of the new bank?
Well, I think it's really cool. I think it's one of those things where, as Minnesotans, we had the dome, and everybody says, well, it was our dump. Well, it was our dump.
Yeah.
I love the Metrodome. We could do
So
all
did I.
it was cool to go to. A lot of cool, nooks and crannies in there, and it was just a dump, but we loved it. The thing with this new stadium, it is, if you're going to spend $1 billion on a stadium, this stadium nails it. Everything you could want, the big concourses, all that stuff is just perfect. The atmosphere, I can't wait until that 3rd preseason game, which Paul Allen has dubbed. It's going to have a regular season feel to it, because it'll be the first time everybody will be in there. It'll be a noon game. It's basically like a dry run. That first game in there is going to be phenomenal. They didn't miss a thing in that stadium.
Nice. That's a pretty good compliment.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It does look, one of the guys wrote, I think in the St. Paul Pioneer Press, and I kind of agree with him, it does look like a big toad sitting on like the rocks in the sun. And he was like upset with the way it looked. I think that's kind of a cool look. I like toads.
You like the toad?
Eventually I'll be a big toad lying in the sun.
Maybe that should be our nickname. Instead of the bank, it could be the Toad. You going to the Toad later?
I have a nickname. It's MeatSauce.
Yeah. Well, all right, but I'm saying for the stadium.
Oh,
see,
yeah,
not,
the
not
Toad.
You, the Toad.
Yeah, let's call it the Toad.
Instead of the Vault or whatever.
We'll
all
just
these people
steal
are
that guy's material. I steal all my brother's material. Why
the
not?
Toad. Sure.
That is good.
The food thing, this is what bothers me. It's the same thing with Target Field. Every year they come out with this, we're going to come here for the food. This is a sporting venue. This is the Vikings' home. $1.1 billion. Don't sell us on food. To me, that's a gimmick, and I get it. If you want food, go to a restaurant. Go someplace and have that, $100 entree. Go out for that. This is, I get it, it's a business, captive audience. I hate that that's one of the marketing things is, look at what great food they have here. We're going to see them win football games. We want to win a Super Bowl. We don't want to have, if you walk away from a game and you say, Teddy Bridgewater played okay, but that plate of food I got was awesome. That's the wrong thing to do with this stadium.
Yeah, but
I think.
I disagree with you. I think the reason that they have that is it has to be available for everybody, because now a lot of people are going. I mean, they put in like a fantasy football lounge in like the right end zone, corner of the end zone, for that reason. You have to cater to everybody. And if you're going to go and you're going to spend a couple $100s on tickets, you might as well spend a couple $100s on good food. And trust me, all of the food is phenomenal.
You know what that does, though? That draws the people that don't care about football, the non-fans that are
but
going
they don't.
because
As
they have
long
the
as they
money,
pay the tab, they don't care who shows up.
No, I
they
get it, because that's what I'm saying, because it's a business. And then they're looking at the dollars and cents and not the product on the field. They're saying, oh, look at that great food that we had.
You just hate food. We get
I
it.
hate food. No,
I obviously
I
don't.
hate good food. We got 30 seconds left. Vikings report to training camp this week. Biggest storyline that you would be looking for this week?
Well, I'm going to steal a good friend of mine's take. I thought it was Blair Walsh. I said that last week. I think it's. I honestly believe that it is Anthony Barr. It's the health of Anthony Barr. PA said it yesterday on my Saturdays with Sauce show, noon to 2 on the Fan. He said it yesterday, and he's right. If Anthony Barr plays 9, 10 games again, then we have to worry about it. But as PA said yesterday, I totally agree with him. Anthony Barr might be the best defensive player on a team that includes some really good players.
Absolutely.
Anthony Barr's health, because he could be that the player that makes big plays for them. Anthony Barr's health is huge. And if we find out coming out this week, because you see some of these teams have already come out with who's on the PUP list, if that leaks tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, that he's starting on the PUP list, that's a bad start. Yeah. But we'll find out. I hope not. I hope he starts, and I hope he's great, because he's a super nice guy.
Well, we'll find
super
out.
Nice
They
guy.
report on Thursday, start practice on Friday.
Can't wait.
All right, time for a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk little Twins.
Yay!
I'm Tony Stewart, Cup driver, and I'm a race fan too. And I love watching the Arctic Cat All-Star Circuit of Champions Wing Sprint Car Series, whether it's in person or on TV. These cars have 900 horsepower, giant tires, and reach speeds up to 160 mile an hour, and put on an amazing show for the fans. So check out the Arctic Cat All-Star Circuit of Champions Wing Sprint Car Series when we come to a town near you, or check us out right here on TV.
Watch the race from Attica, Ohio, this Sunday at 12 noon on CW23.
Tell me something a woman might have to give up to save her marriage.
Her boyfriend.
Here we go.
Steve, we on TV?
Not yet. What do you want to do?
You're gonna play, Steve.
Watch yourself. Every girl I meet tells me I'm what?
Smelly.
You don't know where that came from, do you? Watch Family Feud weeknights at 6 and 6:30 on CW23.
This summer, Supergirl is soaring to the CW.
I was sent to protect Earth.
Catch the entire first season with back-to-back episodes every Monday starting August 1st.
I love it. Really?
Get up to speed before the Season 2 premiere October 10th.
Absolutely.
Supergirl.
Back-to-back episodes start August 1st on the same channel as your other favorite superheroes. The Flash on Tuesdays, Arrow on Wednesdays, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow on Thursdays. All locally seen on CW23.
And welcome back. The big news this week for the Twins, they fired general manager Terry Ryan. You're very busy on your phone. I can see you're researching these questions. Did the Twins handle it? Did they do the right thing?
Yeah, they had to. Terry Ryan had to be fired. Yeah. I mean, Terry Ryan, everybody says, and I hate that I qualify everything with this, great guy, great baseball guy. The Twins are so stuck in like 1994 way. And if you go through the paper, as I have today.
You read?
All of these, well, kind of. There's just big pictures in here. All of these GMs are young guys. Yeah. That's the way that baseball is going now. Right. And you're not going to find Theo Epstein. Theo Epstein is not going to leave the Cubs to come to the lowly Minnesota Twins. But you got to find a different voice. And I think the biggest mistake, firing Terry Ryan was the right move. But in classic Twins fashion, they made the mistake of saying Paul Molitor's the manager next year. Right. That's the GM's. That is the GM's call, not, and maybe it is the owner. I get the owners write the check, but you can't bring in a GM going, he's the manager no matter what. You got to give him some leeway, and they make, every time they try and make a big move or some kind of move, they make a mistake.
I was going to ask, do you think it was handled appropriately in that they were going to let Terry Ryan ride out the rest of the season, and then he's the one that stepped up and said, if you're going to let me go, let's get on with this. I'm stepping down now.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, I mean, to say, you got to the end of the year or we're going to move on. And he said, cut me loose, I'm out of here.
It's the classic passive-aggressive way of the Minnesota, just the way that they operate, and they're going to go, well, you know, we don't have to let him go, or we'll let you go at the end of the year. Just fire him. The team sucks. They're going to lose 90 games again for the 4th or 5th time in 6 years. Yeah. Just cut him. Get rid of him. Fire him.
Do you think what owner Jim Pohlad said about when he was asked, are you prepared? And he said, I've looked at other teams' media guides. I think that's frustrating for every Twins fan because it makes you feel like they're not connected.
I hope it was taken out of context.
Do you think it was?
Oh, I hope. If you're, I mean, that would be like, you know, well, we fired so-and-so. Well, who are we going to hire? Well, I don't know.
I'll look through the paper and see if
I can find, you know, go through Craigslist. I hope he was kidding. You got to, if you're going to make a move like that, a GM is a huge thing in baseball. You got to have a list of 15 people you can bring in like that'd take the job, and a bunch of candidates, a bunch of pie in the sky candidates, a bunch of maybe candidates, and then some people that you just want to ask. You can't just go, oh, I don't know. You can't, and you can't joke about it. And I joke about everything, but it's too serious of an issue to just go, I don't know, I was looking through the media guide. If he was trying to be funny, that's not the time to be funny. I know when it's time to be funny, and that time is right now.
Now is the time to be funny. See, what you said about the TV show or the category, we were the maybe we'll ask. We thought we were pie in the sky. We were just asking. Look at what happened.
I love pie. We should get some French silk pie. I would hammer that right now, even though it's late at night.
Your attention span is just
sorry.
So quick.
That's why I told you not to bring my phone up here.
It's awesome. It's a prop now. I love it.
I think AJ caught some more Pokemon.
Let's stay with the Twins. Dumpster fire seems to be quickly burning out. They're 12-7 so far in July, their best month of the year. What's going on? They're almost a 2-to-1 ratio of wins.
They're the last 10 games out of the division. I think they're like 6-4 or something.
Yeah, I
don't know. They're winning, and I think they just got back to realizing that baseball's fun. That seventh inning last night was. Yeah. I turned it on because on my phone I got
this
good luck
thing, charm,
right, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this. Had a couple of gin and tonics, watch the game. that seventh inning last night was fun to watch. They had a bunch of 2-out hits. They put some stuff together, and it was fun to watch. And it was the first time that I ever agreed with a replay when Vargas slid in, and it was safe, and they moved on with it, and they called it the right way after calling him out. Last night was fun baseball, but it's been such crappy baseball for so long, it's not worth turning on.
It's the old adage, they're having fun, we're having fun. We're having fun, so I hope the people at home are having fun.
Why do we have to bring math into it?
I don't know. Let's stay with baseball. We can skip David Ortiz, and we'll talk Chris Sale, Chicago White Sox. This story seems to be grabbing headlines. Cut up his jersey or multiple team members' jersey. Chicago White Sox throwbacks jersey is also pretty sweet, if you ask me. But he got mad in the clubhouse and decided to grab a scissor and go nuts. What's going on?
So last night, the beauty of the world we live in with Twitter is this story pops out that he's been scratched. And, of course, everybody with the trade deadline coming, you're going, well, he's going to be moved. Some team is saying, well, we want him. Don't pitch him today. We'll trade for him on Monday, and then we can use him Tuesday. Well, then somebody tweets that there's some kind of clubhouse issue. Then this comes out.
Right.
How childish are you? Like, I'm real childish. Trust me. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite and telling people what they can and can't do. I'm extremely childish. But to cut something up because you don't want to wear it, you're paid millions of dollars. You're one of the best players in baseball, pitching-wise. Don't act like that. Grow up, Peter Pan. I couldn't believe that. You almost want to think that was like an Onion bit where the Onion came up with
It almost seemed like that.
I can't believe that. Get over yourself. Pitch in whatever. Pitch in a paper bag if they want you to. You're making millions of dollars. If they want you to go out there in nothing but a jockstrap, do it. Don't cut the jersey up, you pansy.
You're getting fired up.
Yeah, come on, you're paid so much money, man. You work 1 day a week. I get there's stuff that goes on during it, but I don't want to do it, so I'll cut up the jersey.
To me, it's an anger issue if you cut up the jersey. That's just, you say childish. I think there's some anger
Well, then
there. To me, it's unexplained.
He was the one that led the whole, like, Adam LaRoche's son thing. That whole story's weird. Adam LaRoche is weird, that whole thing. Get the kid out of there. It's a work environment. Yeah. If you bring your kid everywhere to work, it gets old real quick.
Should I bring my kids here next week?
Well, I like your kids.
Would you have a problem?
No. Your kids aren't weird looking like Adam LaRoche's kid. That's mean. Too far. Sorry.
All right, let's go to the Lynx. They end this first part of the season with a 6-game win streak. They are a half game back in the WNBA best standings. Now they're taking that Olympic break. We talked about it last week. It seems like they're hot. The Olympic break probably won't have much of an impact on them.
No, right thing at the right time. You know, get going, get kind of rejuvenated. They'll win gold and then come back here and then they'll win a WNBA championship.
That would be the expectation.
Correct.
It almost seems like them against LA is the West, and it's signed, sealed, delivered. Let's move on. Timberwolves, Tyus Jones MVP in the Summer League. Does that mean anything? I looked back at the previous MVPs. The only one of note is Damian Lillard. Other than that, it's a bunch of guys that are playing over in like Turkey and the development league still. So the stats might be great, and we think, oh, he's got a spot here. This might not mean much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it means much either because Chris Dunn will probably be, by December, will be your starting point guard. Ricky will either be moved or he'll be the first one off the bench. They got a lot of depth at point guard. Tyus, he'll stay on this team, but if he may be part of some package at the trade deadline, does it mean anything? I don't know. It can help your confidence. Tyus Jones is a great guy, great individual, great family. Yeah, if it helps him with some confidence, all for it.
Sweet. All right, time for a little break. When we come back, the drinking game, and I'm serious. We've got rules. It's going to happen.
People need saving. Stand back.
How did you do that?
I'm Supergirl.
You're who now?
Morning.
I'm Molly.
I'm impressed.
Women want them.
You're terrible.
You have no idea.
Men want to be them.
You got looks and money. What about you? You got most of your hair.
They're America's most wanted men.
Do you have any shame? No. Why?
2.5 Men.
2 episodes, weeknights, starting at 9:30 on CW23.
Humankind only has 8 months and 12 days left on Earth.
Excuse me?
What would you do if you only had 8 months left to live?
Try a pogo stick?
Bigger.
He's nuts, right?
Totally nuts. No Tomorrow. Coming this fall to the CW.
We're back. Drinking game. Now, last week, we pretty much just sat around and, pretended that we were drinking and having a conversation. This week, we're honestly going to have a game. I've got some trivia questions. I'm going to ask him to Sauce. If he gets it right, I have to drink. If you get it wrong, you have to drink. People at home, keep score. You can cheer for Sauce, cheer for me, play along. Let's see. So we're going to nerd this up. That's kind of my MO when it comes to this. We're going to start with Star Trek Beyond.
What?
Yeah. It opened this weekend. It's leading the box offices. It totaled $59.6 million in sales. But the big storyline is one of the original Star Trek characters was written to be gay. Which character was that? 3.
I have no idea.
2.
Pass. I have no idea. I think you said it last week.
No, it was our rehearsal. Sulu. The original character of Sulu is now gay. And George Takei, the original Sulu, in real life is gay. So this was an homage to him. And he's the one that said he was disappointed. He didn't like that they had done this change.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that. I should see this.
See, that's one for me.
Yeah.
Boop.
Okay.
All right, we're moving on. Number 2, Wonder Woman. The United States Postal Service this week released 4 new stamps in the anniversary of the Wonder Woman character. How many years old is Wonder Woman? This is just stuff that was in the papers, so if you read
60.
No, not even close. Drink again.
Older, younger? How do I know?
No, that's fine. I'll give you the answer.
100.
Here. She was 75. 75 years old is Wonder Woman.
I did not know that.
And I was going to say, as just a bonus question, can you name the actress who played Wonder Woman in the old TV show? This has been an awfully long... Bette Midler.
I have no idea.
See, show MeatSauce when he's cracking these jokes. This is like...
I have no idea. Who's... Why?
The one man drinking... there we go.
I would have said Bette Midler.
It was Linda Carter.
Oh,
Come on.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Get with this. Drink again. That's 2.
Okay.
2. This is going to be the wheelhouse here, so insert whatever jokes you want. This is the last month that VCRs will be produced. It's the death of the VCR. Which decade was the VCR invented?
I'm going to go with the 70s.
Ooh, drink again.
80s?
No.
60s?
Even further.
50s?
1956, the first ever VCR was invented.
Really?
Guess how much it cost?
$40 billion.
Close. $50,000.
What?
$50,000 to produce the first ever VCR. And they said back in the late 50s, the only people that had them were large news agencies. So there you go. You're
VCRs wailed. VCRs kind of helped me get through high school, if you know what I mean.
Well, these jokes are going there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So the decade of VCRs was the 80s.
Yeah,
What percentage of American households owned a VCR in 1980?
Oh, 95.
No.
75.
You're going the wrong way. No.
60.
1%
1% owned VCRs?
In 1980.
Oh.
Only 1%.
It's been in the 80s.
No.
God,
in 1980.
Maybe I'm bombing this so I can get hammered on TV.
1% of America.
One?
And get this. They had the track record of what was sold, and there was a specific genre that dominated sales. 60% of VHS tapes in 1980 were of what style?
Can I answer this?
Yes, that's the question.
Porn.
It was porn. That's you got that one.
Why is that the only one I get?
The only one you get. Right. But think
Matt,
of this.
That's bad that I get that.
So technology, 1980, they were only 1%, and back then movies weren't produced to VHS right away, but the industry that caught on with it right away was porn. 60% of VHS tapes in 1980 were pornography.
Did you have a beta thing?
No, but my friend did. Where it popped up the top.
The people who had beta weirded me out. I had a friend of mine, his family had beta. Great people, but I was like, why do they have that weird VCR thing?
Beta
the tapes are like
out.
this big. You're like, dude, calm down with your big tape.
I've got so much stuff. We've only got a minute left here for drinking game. In honor of Dennis Green, I wanted to say 8 years out of his 10, we made the playoffs. In those teams, he had 7 different quarterbacks. If you can name 4 out of the 7, I'll drink and you.
Warren Moon, Jim McMahon, Randall Cunningham, Jeff George.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Culpepper.
You got 4. Yeah, there's 5.
What's his? Those are the only 2 I know.
I think you missed Sean Salisbury and Brad Johnson.
Oh yeah, how did I miss that? Yeah.
5 out of 7 is a pretty good score
Brett
for you.
Bollinger, that guy. But.
Well, so you get the Denny Green question with the quarterbacks and you get porn.
Well, duh.
Good for you.
Right.
I still think that I ended up winning this game. All right, we got more on Denny Green when we come back.
I'm just going to keep drinking.
Do you not know who I am?
Should I?
What about the Green Arrow? Black Canary? Firestorm? Adam?
Sorry.
Think you can keep up, Girl of Steel?
Supergirl.
All new this fall, only on CW23.
We are
Oh, sure. Celebrity name game looks easy when you're watching at home.
Black comedian. Right now, she is on The View.
Will the Flintstone. But it's a lot harder than you think.
It's a major in college. Biology.
I just want to talk to the folks at home right now. I bet you feel pretty smart right about now. Get your game on with Celebrity Name Game. Watch Celebrity Name Game weeknights at 5 on CW23.
I never told you about my father. They found his body in the East River 2 days after my 8th birthday. Some said his death was a tragedy. Others said he got exactly what he deserved. Last night.
Q2YV.
Hello? I spoke to him.
Back, like I said, look us up on Twitter, MeatSauce and Monty. He's got his own Twitter account. I do too. We'll be putting all this stuff for the show. And every week we will have a poll. This week with the passing of Denny Green, we asked what would he be remembered for most? And 58% of our viewers said the 15-1 1998 season. I thought that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's an absolute no-brainer. That team was so dominant. They were so good. They were so fun to watch. And I think they've had a sellout every game since the beginning of that season.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. The first year Randy Moss showed up, they've sold, I think, every game since. And now with the new stadium, they won't have a problem with that for another 10 to 15 years.
Every story of 98 was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Randall Cunningham coming back. Randy Moss
best
being a
ever.
freak. Chris Carter was still fantastic. And then Robert Smith. Just everything they did other than the missed field goal.
Was the most fun I ever had watching football, and then 09. But 98,
Yeah.
I was in high school, it was phenomenal.
Good
we
years.
we had a pizza. It was great. We'd watch it with my dad. I had a group of buddies that would come over. Phenomenal.
All right, look us up on Twitter. We'll be back here again next week, Sundays at 10. MeatSauce and Monty.
It's our annual clearance sale at Family Leisure.
Buy now and save big on pools, patio furniture, spas, play gyms, and more. Clearance sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Every week, every match, every episode, we are creating excellence. Don't miss Ring of Honor Wrestling every week.
Saturday night at 11 on CW23. You're watching CW23.
Lady Gaga and Taylor Kinney call it quits. What led to their shocking split?
This weekend on Extra.